All right, viewers' discretion is advised just in case you don't like stuff like this. You might find this hair transplant video a little bit gory, but it shouldn't be too bad. This is me right after finishing the hair transplant in Turkey, and I'm gonna just take you guys on my journey up until this point. So we're just starting off leaving LAX. I'm going to the Centurion Lounge just to go ahead and have something to eat before I go ahead and get on this flight. So I sat in the lounge by myself. I had a pretty good lunch before my flight. This is going to be a really, 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 really long flight. The longest flight that I've ever been on. I had some good food while I was in there. Looks like I had a salad, some chicken, pasta. Not exactly sure, but food was really good. So munching on that. I really had to make sure to eat pretty well before I got on this flight because I wasn't sure how the food was going to be. Since this is a Turkish airline, I didn't fly American or Delta or any of the like, you know, regular Southwest or any of the regular airlines that we would usually hear about. So wasn't sure how the food was going to be and just wanted to make sure that I was nice and full before I got on the flight. So yeah, like I said, the food was pretty interesting. These were some pancakes with like jam and fruit and bread. The bread was really hard. We had two meals. This was the second meal, some pasta, some type of cake, and vegetables. The pasta was okay, but like I said, the food overall was just not that great. But kept me full while I was on the plane. So, and this is just what the flight journey looks like from LAX to Turkey. Just so you guys know, I took a direct flight from LA to Turkey. I didn't have any stops, no connecting flights on my way to Istanbul. The flight itself was about 14 hours, I believe, 13 or 14 hours. So it was pretty long. This is what it looks like when I first got off the plane. Um, I was speaking to one of the reps from the clinic. They came, picked me up in a Sprinter van, met up with him. He put my bags away and got right in there and headed on over to the hotel. So this is my first time in Turkey, of course, and then my first time in Europe. So just kind of taking things in and seeing what everything looks like. The ride was pretty smooth. I think the ride was about 30 to 45 minutes from the airport to my hotel. So it wasn't that bad. And then when I did land in Turkey, I got there towards the end of the day. So pretty soon, in a moment, it'll get dark. Like I said, I left LAX around like 6 o'clock, something like that. End of the day, like at LAX, and then 14-hour flight. And then also Turkey is 11 hours ahead of us. So took a while to get there. I got there like Thursday night, left LAX Wednesday night. And then as soon as I got back to the hotel, just basically put all my stuff away, went to sleep, and then got up the next morning to go to the clinic and go ahead and start everything. So this is kind of what it looks like when I'm almost at the hotel. Uh, Pretty interesting, like their architecture and everything out there. All right, and this is the next morning. So this is the view from my room. I had a pretty nice hotel. There's a BMW tower. I thought it was really cool. I was right in between a BMW tower and a Mercedes Benz tower. So there were a few dealerships around, a lot of cars being driven around. Had some tea that morning that they had in the hotel, and then I kind of had like a little bit of a pep talk with myself. All right, so just trying to get myself to calm down, I guess. I was kind of nervous. Oh, this was really annoying. I had no idea that the outlets were different in Turkey. I didn't bring any type of converter for my phone charger, so the whole time you'll see I was having an issue trying to charge my camera, my phone, my computer. I only had like the regular wall outlets that we usually use in the States. So the whole time, my phone was charging, cutting on, cutting off because there was only one outlet in the whole hotel room that seemed to have fit my charger, but then that one ended up having a shortage, I think. So That was pretty difficult, but what I did was just bring that charger to the clinic, and they were able to charge it for me for the duration of my time there. So every time I went to the clinic, I made sure to bring it while I was in the room. I just kind of left my phone alone, sat it there if it was on low battery, and it kind of just was going up and down in charge. So bring a converter for your chargers if if you go to Turkey. That'll be a smart thing to do. So now from this angle, you'll kind of see like what I'm working with my hairline and everything. It's kind of curved, and the two top spots at the corner of my head, they're kind of curved. So those two corners, they're like thinning, and I feel like it was pretty obvious that they were thinning. And I'll show you in a second. I should flip the camera angle. My thinning was like starting at my hairline, and then it was going to my crown. So pretty much like the center of my head, like that area was thinning. I was thinning a lot in my crown, but I feel like even though you can clearly see it here, the more I grew my hair at the time, the more obvious it got. So from my crown down to like my hairline, it was just some parts that were like thinning more than others. So these were my main focuses that I wanted to talk to the clinic about, and that I wanted them to focus on, and where I really wanted my results to like shine. So uh, those are the areas that I just wanted to go ahead and focus on most. Another pep talk for myself. I had to do quite a few of these because I was a bit nervous, but I don't know. Then again, I wasn't. Like, I was excited to be there. Uh, this is me downstairs, just getting some breakfast. Now, I have to admit, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and say that the food's just bomb, delicious, bomb.com out of this world, because it was not. But I just had to find a few things that were familiar to me. Not everything was disgusting. Like, they had like some good food. They had like American food there too, kind of. But I mean, I got to try new things that I never had before, so that was a cool experience. But I was always able to eat enough foods that were familiar to me and that would still like fill me up. So definitely ate a lot of fruit while I was there. I think what did I go with? Oh, they had some type of like potato, cheesy potato or something. I got that and a bunch of fruit. I didn't like the yogurt. One more time, just like looking at my hairline here, just kind of paying attention to the angle. I wanted to make sure that I kept somewhat of like a natural curve to my hairline. So, in later videos, I'll show you guys like what my hairline looks like now. But I just feel like it was curving a little bit too much. It was just starting to thin a lot in the corners. And anytime I would tilt my head down like there, it would bother me a lot. This is what the clinic looked like outside, just walking up to it. I ended up filming this, I think the day that I went to go do the shampoo, but this is everything that the building looks like. I think there was a restaurant in there too. This clinic actually does more than hair transplants. I believe they work on veneers as well as rhinoplasties and a few other things. So, depending on what level you were on in the building is, what type of procedure and work they were actually doing on you. What I did like about this clinic was that they didn't work on a lot of people um, every day, like at a time. It was only me and two or three other people instead of having like a whole bunch of people come in and out. So this is me getting back to the hotel once the procedure was over. And as you can clearly see, I was super tired. Felt like I got hit by a freaking Mack truck. I was so tired and I felt like just super exhausted. And another thing you'll notice is the bandages, of course, around my head. So the bandages are actually on the donor area of my head. That's where they extracted the grafts from. Excuse me, the grafts to put in my transplanted area where you see like all of the blood and everything at. So a lot of people ask, like, or probably are going to ask, like, was it painful? Did it hurt? Everything like that. It didn't really hurt to me. The part that hurt was the local anesthesia that they put. So they had to like shoot me up with a needle like 4 times. That hurt pretty bad. But I left with this package that they gave me. I ended up buying a bigger package, but this is like complimentary. Some shampoos that they give you. They also went ahead and gave me some medicine. This medicine I took for the first 30 days after the surgery. And the main point of like the different medicines was just to relieve you of any pain that you were having, relieve you of any headaches, because that's a common symptom after having the transplant is to have some type of headache, migraine, things of that nature. Also to keep the swelling down because my forehead swelled a little bit, but I feel like in most cases, a lot of people's swelling were like a lot more obvious than mine. But this is me the next morning getting ready to go back for my shampoo appointment with them. My head is still like a bit swollen, but like I said, I've seen a lot worse. I didn't feel like it swelled up that much, but there was definitely a lot of blood to deal with. That's the chair that I had to sit in all night long. You have to sleep upright, and that's not only for the day after the transplant, but like I said, I believe again the first 30 days you have to sleep upright. Can't lay your head down on a pillow. You can't risk those grafts falling out, them getting damaged, them getting hit. So I think at one point I did hit my head on the door trying to get out the car, and things like that you definitely want to avoid right after the surgery. And this is what my pillow looked like. This is the neck pillow that I have. You see all the blood and like liquids and stuff on it. There's gonna be blood that leaks from your head down to your neck all night long. So definitely got to clean that off. But it's normal. Like I said, there's a lot of blood. You just got major surgery and major procedure done. So um, thank God I didn't sleep in the bed, but did sleep in the chair. Had to sleep up upright, and yeah, it was pretty hard to do. Pretty hard to sit up that way all night. Now, this was something that I was not prepared for. You see me putting on my jean jacket to get back to the clinic to go for my next appointment to get the shampoo done. Thank God I brought this jacket because this is the only article of clothing that I had that would button up. I didn't have any clothes that would zip up or button up for me to wear this entire trip. I only had things that would go um, around my head and over my body, but nothing that I could zip up or button on. And the reason why it's so important to pack clothes like this is just so that you don't have to put it over your head, because that's just going to make your life that much more difficult. You're already moving around a lot. Your head is already hurting. You don't want to do anything more than what you have to do. So it's really important to bring clothes that you can button up and zip up to avoid putting over your head and touching those grafts and your clothes getting bloody and those grafts possibly falling out. This is me right before they shampoo my hair. This is what they call the foaming stage, and they use this foam to soften the skin and basically ease the transition onto the next steps. It's gonna moisturize your scalp, and it's just gonna make all the next steps a lot easier. So they'll leave this on your head for about 10 to 15 minutes before actually going in and shampooing your head. All right, and here is where they began the process to do the shampoo. So, like I said, this is going to be one day after your initial surgery. They're going to do the hair wash and the bandage removal that you guys saw earlier in the back of my head. So they basically just gently rinse your head and your scalp with warm water. I was kind of acting a bit sensitive just because this was something to get used to, but I assure you there was not a lot of pain, just a tad bit of discomfort. But like I said, it wasn't that bad. So they basically go ahead, they remove the bandages carefully. Like I said, it was quick, not really a lot of pain. They also wash your scalp with some isotonic solution, and basically this prevents any infection and make sure that those transplanted hairs that they're clean, basically that your entire scalp is clean, because it's like I said, it's pretty important. So I would say this entire process took about 15 minutes. It really wasn't that long. They were really gentle with me. Like I said, there wasn't really any pain. So they dry your skin using this sterilized gauze, and they have some antibiotic spray that they use just to fasten the recovery. So she's just taking her time, being really gentle with my scalp, making sure there's no more blood left. My forehead looks super shiny right here, but making sure that there's no residue left around my head at all. And then here I am just at the mall. I decided to go there after leaving the shampoo. My trip was really quick, so unfortunately, I wasn't really able to do some sightseeing or visit any places that tourists may usually go to. But on the way back to the hotel, I saw the mall and I just told the driver to stop and I wanted to walk around, see how their malls look and everything like that. They have a lot of the same stores that we do, of course. And one thing that surprised me was that wherever I walked, people did not stare at me. They did not care. But I also realized that a lot of people out there also are getting hair transplants, men and women, and it's really common. I saw people all the time outside of my hotel, in the mall, at the airport. There's a ton of people getting hair transplants. And then finally found some good food. I went to Krispy Kreme. This just felt really familiar, and I was super hungry, and I wanted something that I usually go to when I'm back at home. So stuffed my face with some Krispy Kreme donuts, had an amazing time. The donuts were super delicious. They tasted the same. They were hot and ready, and they tasted great just like they do back at home. So this concludes my trip to Turkey. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be sure to share more of my hair transplant journey in the future.